how to photograph the Milky Way in under 5 minutes. Sounds like a challenge, and I'm up for it. So grab yourself a glass of milk, sit back, and enjoy. Let's go. Do you have a milk mustache? What's up, guys? Welcome back to NTLP. My name is Nick, and this is the place to be for everything landscape photography. So today we are talking about how to photograph the Milky Way in under 5 minutes. So without further ado, let's jump right into it, shall we? All right, so the first thing that you guys need to know is gear. You're gonna need a camera with manual mode and a lens that has manual focus on it. Your lens, you wanna have some sort of a wide angle lens, usually around the 12 to 28 millimeter mark, and the lower the f-stop that you can go, the better. You're also gonna need a tripod because you're not gonna be able to hand hold your camera for a long exposure for 10 to 15 seconds or beyond that. Tripod is a must. Also, bring a headlamp. Best investment I have ever made. Actually, if you guys wanna check out the one that I use, I've included a link in the description below. Check that out. It will save you for sure. All right, next up is planning. So like every landscape shoot, there is some planning that you need to consider. You want to find a dark location with little to no light pollution from cities or refineries or what have you. So light pollution. A good tool that I use is darksitefinder.com. It's a super great tool. Also, take advantage of your national or provincial or state parks. They're usually pretty dark at night. You also want to take into consideration the moon cycle. To get the best detail, color, contrast of the Milky Way, we need to plan your Milky Way shoot with minimal moonlight. So in a nutshell, the closer that you are to a new moon on the calendar, the better. All right, we also have Milky Way seasons. March to November, you can photograph the bright galactic center of the Milky Way. From October to April, you can photograph the edge of the Milky Way that's also backed with the constellation Orion. You can also download some helpful apps to help aid your planning. Apps like PhotoPills, Stellarium, and SkyGuide are some of the apps that I personally use. Definitely would recommend to you. This is not a paid video from them or anything. I just use them personally. Okay, moving on. Whew, I think we're doing okay for time. Take a breath. Settings for your camera. First off, shoot in manual mode and set your lens to manual focus. Tip number 2, shoot in RAW. Always shoot in RAW. Why aren't you shooting in RAW yet? Move away from JPEG. Shoot RAW. Keep your white balance set to auto. That's what I do, because if you're shooting in RAW, white balance doesn't matter. You can change it in post. Tip number 4, use a camera shutter release. If you don't have one of those, set your 2-second timer within your camera there. When you click, it'll wait 2 seconds and then take a photo. Alternatively, if your camera system, like mine, Fuji, has an app on your phone, you can actually release the shutter from your phone. It'll just communicate via Bluetooth. So the app will actually kind of be like a wireless shutter release. Okay, exposure recommendations for your camera. This is your shutter, aperture, ISO. Shutter, you want to try to keep it within about the 10 to 20 second, maybe 30 seconds. The longer the exposure, the more star trails that you might introduce into your photos. So just be aware of that. For the aperture, keep it low. The lower, the better. And for your ISO, to start, set it to 2000. All right, so autofocus will not work with Milky Way photos or pretty much any type of astrophotography. You're gonna have to set it yourself, and that's the reason why I mentioned earlier that you do need a lens with manual focus. So the first method to do, or to get focus of the Milky Way and the stars, is to set your lens to infinity mode. Sometimes the lens doesn't have the icon on it. Typically for Canon or Sony lenses, if you were to rotate the focus ring all the way to the left, then you'll get to infinity focus. On the other hand, if you're on a Fuji system or a Nikon system, if you turn your focus ring all the way to the right, then you will get to infinity focus. While this method may work, it's not always 100% accurate. This next method that I'm going to tell you is what I personally use. So the other method is to manually focus on the stars. So what you would do is you would get up nice and close to your viewfinder if you're using that, or on your LCD screen on the back of your camera, locate the brightest star and then use that manual focus ring to make that star tack sharp or super small. This will ensure that everything for the night sky is in focus, and that's what you want. All right, now you're ready to start shooting. Take a couple test shots. If the image looks too dark, bump up your ISO. If it's way too bright, bump it down. If your test shot comes out blurry, discard the first method that you used for focusing on the stars. 9 times out of the 10, it's using that infinity. So try the other way. Once you're happy with all the adjustments, you can use those adjustments for the whole night. Just keep in mind that if you do by accident bump your camera, or if you run out of battery and your camera shuts off, you may have to refocus. Okay, I think I kept it within 5 minutes. Ooh. All right, so if you did like this video, maybe drop down there and hit that subscribe button. Be much appreciated. Come join the NTLP family. Sure nice to have you here. We have tons of fun. Everything landscape photography. If you're not subscribed, you're missing out. Guaranteed. There we go. Also, while you're down there, hit that like button. It'll send this video out to whoever else may want to know how to shoot the Milky Way, and it'll help my channel. So thank you. Oh, okay. I think I kept it under 5 minutes. All right. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will respond to each and every one of you. So be safe, get out there, get those epic shots, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.